You think your cat is just being jealous, maybe even dramatic, but what if, in that exact moment, when a new animal crosses your doorway, something far deeper is happening inside their mind, something older than your home, older than your bond, something instinctive. Ace, your cat isn't just seeing a new pet, it's calculating, is this really jealousy or something far more ancient? Asterisk. When researchers began placing cameras inside homes, quietly observing what happens when a new pet is introduced, they noticed something strange. Cats didn't react the way we expected. They didn't rush forward, they didn't immediately attack or retreat. Instead, they watched from corners, from shadows, from above, still silent, physical, a predator studying an unfamiliar presence in its territory. This wasn't emotional chaos, this was strategy. Bez in the wild, reacting too quickly can be dangerous. So the question becomes, would a creature known for independence choose patience over reaction? Asterisk. Most pet owners believe they understand this moment. They see their cat withdraw, hide, or stare intensely, and they translate it instantly. My cat feels betrayed. My cat is jealous. My cat thinks I've replaced them. It's a deeply human interpretation, but may be completely wrong, because jealousy, as we understand it, requires a very specific kind of social comparison, and cats don't experience relationships the way humans do. They don't measure love as something that can be taken away. They measure something else, something more primal. So if it's not jealousy, what is your cat actually feeling? Asterisk. To understand your cat's mind, you have to step into its world, a world not defined by affection but by control. Behavioral studies in feline psychology have consistently shown that cats are deeply territorial animals, but territory for a cat isn't just physical space, it's psychological structure. Every corner, every scent, every routine forms a predictable map of safety. Where they sleep, where they eat, where they observe, it's a system, and within that system your cat feels in control. Now imagine what happens when a new animal suddenly appears. The map breaks, the rules change, a scent profile shifts from a scientific perspective. This triggers a measurable stress response. Cortisol levels rise, alertness increases, behavior becomes cautious. Even withdrawn. Beast unpredictability, not competition, is the real threat. But here's where it gets stranger. Not all cats react with stress. Adapt almost instantly. He asterisk. In controlled behavioral observations, researchers discovered something unexpected. Not all cats see a new pet as a threat. Some ignore it completely, some adapt within hours, and a few even approach with curiosity. The differentive answer lies in personality and experience. Cats raised in multi-animal environments, especially during early developmental stages, tend to show lower stress responses to new companions. Their brains have already learned a crucial lesson: not all change is dangerous. Meanwhile, cats raised in isolation often interpret any new presence as a potential disruption to survival. But there's another layer. Some cats don't accept and don't reject these, simply observing definitely. Why do some cats form bonds while others never truly do? Asterisk. Here's the truth most people never realize: their cat isn't thinking you replace mites, thinking something far more fundamental. Is my world still safe? Because for a cat, emotional security doesn't come from reassurance, it comes from predictability, from knowing what happens next, from controlling distance, from choosing when to engage and when to disappear. This is why a cat may ignore a new pet completely, out of indifference, but as a way to regain control, to re-establish certainty. In fact, one of the most misunderstood feline behaviors, the slow blink followed by turning away in rejection, it's acceptance. In their terms, a signal that says, I see you. You're not a threat, but I decide the distance. Because your cat isn't reacting to the new pet, it's reacting to something invisibly broken sense of certainty. And once you understand fate varying changes, asterisk, the mistake isn't bringing home another pet, it's how we introduce change. Humans tend to rush connection, want harmony immediately, place animals together, encourage interaction, expect bonding. But to your cat this feels like chaos, because you're removing the one thing it relies on most: control. So what works? Not forcing interaction, but allowing distance, letting your cat choose when to approach, maintaining familiar routines, feeding times, sleeping spots, daily rhythms, preserving the structure of their world, and most important, respecting territory. Separate spaces aren't isolation, their stability. Best to your cat's stability isn't comfort, it's love. Asterisk. Over time, Something subtle happens here. Cat stops watching every movement, stops calculating every sound, stops mapping every step, not because it accepted the new pet but because it adapted its understanding of the world anew. Normal or rewritten map. Maybe your cat never truly thinks this is my friend. Maybe it simply thinks this is part of my environment now, and somehow that's enough, because in the end your cat isn't asking who is this, it's asking something much quieter, much deeper. What does this mean for me? And once you see your cat that way, you stop trying to be loved on your terms and start learning how to make them feel safe in theirs.